Good afternoon. Here is the news at 4. First, the highlights. Governor Sanwo-Olu reaffirms a commitment to transforming Badagry into a global heritage hub. Nigerian Senate calls for inclusion of mental health in school curriculum. On the foreign scene, Israel to resume enforcement of ceasefire after Gaza strikes. And in sports, Super Falcon players arrive camp ahead 2026 WAFCON qualifier against Benin Republic. And now the details. My name is Akan Usen. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has reiterated his administration's commitment to transforming Badagry into a world-class heritage and tourism hub that will preserve Africa's history while unlocking new opportunities for economic growth and cultural exchange. The governor stated this at the 5th edition of the Door of Return ceremony held in Badagry. Governor Sanwo-Olu was represented by his special advisor on tourism, arts and culture, Idris Aregbe, described the Door of Return as more than a remembrance of history, calling it a vibrant festival celebrating how far Africa and its diaspora have come. He noted while Badagry once symbolized pain and separation during the transatlantic slave trade, it has now become a sacred place of triumph, unity and renewal. Governor Sanwo-Olu emphasized that the event has evolved from a solemn commemoration into a global platform for cultural diplomacy, tourism, and economic collaboration between Africa and its diaspora communities. The annual Door of Return ceremony, organized in collaboration with the Lagos State government, celebrates the resilience of the African spirit and strengthens cultural bonds between Africa and its diaspora. In a continued effort to strengthen collaboration between the Lagos State government and its federal representatives, the Office of Political, Legislative and Civic Engagement has paid a strategic working visit to federal lawmakers representing Lagos State at the National House of Assembly, Abuja. The delegation was led by the Special Advisor to the Governor on Political, Legislative and Civic Engagement, Afolabi Tajudeen, and the Permanent Secretary, Sholabumi Shashori. Tajudeen extended the goodwill of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and Deputy Governor Obafemi Hamzat, reiterating the state government's commitment to deepening intergovernmental cooperation, strengthening mutual trust, and advancing inclusive governance that resonates from the grassroots to the highest levels of decision-making. Welcoming the delegation, member of the House of Representatives, Ekpe Federal Constituency, Olale Raji, commended the Lagos State government for the initiative and praised the proactive engagement of the team. Raji also called for more collaborations between other Lagos State ministries, departments and agencies and the Office of Political, Legislative and Civic Engagement, noting that public feedback platforms such as Opinion Survey, Town Hall, and the celebration of 100 days in office by public office holders serve as effective mechanisms that can help citizens fill government's polls and provide feedback for policy adjustments. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has announced dates for the collection of permanent voter cards and a mock accreditation exercise ahead of the November 8 Anambra State gubernatorial election. In a statement signed by its Director of Voter Education and Publicity, Victoria Etta Messi, INEC said PVC collection for voters who registered during the recent continuous voter registration exercise will run from Wednesday, October 22 to Sunday, October 26. The Commission urged all eligible voters to collect their PVCs at their registration areas, stressing that collection must be done in person, as no proxy collection will be permitted. INEC also announced a mock accreditation exercise scheduled for Saturday, October 25, in selected polling units across the 3 senatorial districts of Anambra State. The exercise, according to INEC, will test the upgraded bimodal voter accreditation system, assess its efficiency, and evaluate the process of uploading results to the INEC result viewing iRev portal ahead of the main election. And now to the rest of the stories. The Nigerian Senate has called for the integration of mental health education into the national academic curriculum as part of efforts to address the growing psychological and emotional challenges facing students and educators across the country. Chairman, Senate Committee on Health, Ikmalibo Banigo, made the call during a mental health program organized by the Mandate Health Empowerment Initiative in Abuja. Delivering the keynote address, Banigo underscored the strong link between mental health, discipline, and academic productivity. The senator lamented the growing trend of academic burnout, substance abuse, and emotional distress among students and teachers in Nigeria and other parts of Africa. She reaffirmed the Senate Committee's commitment to ensuring that every learner in Nigeria can thrive both mentally and academically, while outlining a series of measures to advance this goal. Over 250,000 children have been immunized against human papillomavirus, polio, measles, rubella, and other tropical diseases in Kaugama local government area of Jigawa State. Immunization officer in the area, Mohammed Taisu, who made this known, said the council area successfully immunized 99,213 children of ages 9 months to 14 years against measles rubella, with 105% coverage recorded. He said that 74,401 children of ages 0 to 23 months have also been immunized with novel oral polio vaccine, successfully recording coverage of 102%. Now to foreign news. The Israeli military says it will resume enforcement of the ceasefire in Gaza after launching airstrikes on Sunday in response to what it called Hamas's blatant violation of the deal. Strikes began in southern Gaza after the Israeli military said terrorists fired an anti-tank missile and gunfire towards its troop in Rafah, killing 2 soldiers. Hamas said it was unaware of any clashes in the area under Israeli control. The Israel Defense Forces, IDF, said it had begun renewed enforcement of the ceasefire, stating that it would uphold the agreement and respond firmly to any violation of it. The first phase of the United States brokered ceasefire deal, which started on October 10, saw an immediate end to fighting, the partial withdrawal of Israeli troops to a so-called yellow line along the north, east, and south of Gaza, and an increase of aid. And away from all that, now sports. Super Falcons forward Azizat Oshoala and Folashade Ijamilusi have arrived at the camp in Lomé, Togo, ahead of the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers against the Amazons of Benin Republic. New invitee Joy Umewa, Miracle Usani, Taiwo Afolabi, Underline Bechi, Blessing Ilivedia, and Kafayat Mafishere have also hit the team's camp. Head coach Justin Madugo is still expecting 13 more players in camp. The team will hold their first training session later tonight. Benin Republic will host the first leg at the Stade Kegwe Lomé on Thursday. The reverse fixture is slated for the Moshood Abiola Sports Arena at Belkuta next week, Tuesday. And that's all for the news at 4. Do not drink and drive. Follow us and like all our various social media platforms. On X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961, on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. Visit our website on www.trafficradio961.ng. You can also listen to Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM live on My Lagos app for timely updates. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration empowered over 1,000 residents at the third phase of the Mega Empowerment Program? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has reiterated his administration's commitment to transforming Badagry into a world-class heritage and tourism hub that will preserve Africa's history while unlocking new opportunities for economic growth and cultural exchange. The Nigerian Senate has called for the integration of mental health education into the national academic curriculum as part of efforts to address the growing psychological and emotional challenges facing students and educators across the country. We also told you that Israeli military said it will resume enforcement of the ceasefire in Gaza after launching airstrikes on Sunday in response to what it called Hamas's blatant violation of the deal. And in sport, Super Falcons forward Azizat Oshuala for Lashade Ijamilusi and 6 other players have arrived at the camp in Lomé, Togo, ahead of their 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers against the Amazons of Benin Republic. For contact with the newsroom, please send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. And that ends the news broadcast compiled by Kayode Mafolashiri. I am Akan Usen. Thanks for listening and please stay safe. Good afternoon.